These are the characters most likely to die in Avengers Secret Wars. Starting off the list, I have Captain Marvel. I'll give her about a 30% chance of dying in Avengers Secret Wars. I know what you're probably thinking, she's so incredibly powerful, how is she going to die in this movie? But her being that powerful is actually why I think she has a chance of dying off, because I think Marvel's kind of created this problem where they don't know what to do with the character anymore because she's so OP. So either somehow I think she's going to get heavily nerfed going forward in the MCU, or she could just end up being killed off by Doctor Doom just reaching like the peak of his power and really showing the rest of the heroes, wow, he means business, he's this powerful, and he ends her. Plus, after the performance of the Marvels at the box office and just the way that Brie Larson gets treated online for playing this character, I don't know if she really wants to continue playing it going forward. At number 6 is Deadpool with a 35% chance, who's only on this list for one reason, honestly. Just the Deadpool and Wolverine scene where we see Thor crying over Deadpool's body. I feel like there's a very high likelihood this is from Secret Wars and it is actually the death of Deadpool. I mean, there's definitely a chance that we do see the scene in Secret Wars, but it's Deadpool just pretending to be dead or something. He's like, oh no, I'm fine. That's definitely something Deadpool would do, but I think he does have a decent chance of dying in this movie. I personally think we're going to get a Deadpool Wolverine 2 or a Deadpool 4, but I know Ryan Reynolds as of right now has said he doesn't have any plans of doing it again. But come on, the Marvel cast lies all the time about these things, and Deadpool Wolverine made so much money, and we know money talks. I don't see him being killed off, but I think there is a okay chance. At number 5 is Thor. I'm giving him a 45% chance of dying, not incredibly likely, but a decent chance for a multitude of reasons. First of all, the character has been around in the MCU since phase 1, and he is a god. I know he can kind of just live forever and ever. I feel like this would be the next big Marvel character that if you kill him off, it could almost reach the pinnacle of the Tony Stark death in Endgame. It's not going to quite reach that because Iron Man was just so iconic, but it could be a really emotional moment in the film. Plus, Chris Hemsworth has been taking a lot of different roles. He's talked about how he wants to take his own breaks from acting and spend more time with his family and stuff like that, and I just don't know how long he wants to keep playing Thor, because again, he's been playing this character for well over like 12 years at this point. If Thor Love and Thunder did well at the box office, I would be confident in him getting a 5th movie, but I don't know if that's the plan with Marvel anymore, and they have so many projects they're trying to jam into the next couple of years. I don't know if we're going to see that next Thor solo film, so the next best way to have an exit for the character would be in Avengers Secret Wars when everybody's going to see it. At number 4, I have Wasp, kind of for a completely opposite reason of Thor and Captain Marvel. It's because she actually is more of a minor character that wouldn't really affect things going forward, but would still give you an emotional moment in the film for the rest of the Avengers, and specifically like Ant-Man and Cassie. You could definitely see her being killed off like very early into the movie to really set the tone again, something like we saw in Avengers Endgame when they're like halfway through Black Widow died. Even earlier in this film, I could see her being the one that's like the earliest casualty. So I'm going to give her a 50% chance of dying off in this film. At number 3, with a 55% chance of dying, which would break my heart, I have to put Wong for very similar reasons to Wasp. Again, a very great side character who is powerful in and of itself, but he's not as big of a character as the other Avengers. But he's so beloved that him dying off in this movie, making some big sacrifice to maybe save Strange or someone else, would hit like a truck, and this would really be an emotional moment. Plus, we've been seeing a lot of Wong all throughout the phase 4 of the MCU. I feel like they're setting us up for a big moment of him dying. At number 2 is Doctor Strange at 65% chance of dying. Now hear me out, this kind of has a caveat to it, because if we don't get Doctor Strange 3 in between Doomsday and Secret Wars, it's probably not likely that he dies in Secret Wars, because I think we're going to get that third Doctor Strange. But as of right now, I really think we are going to get the next Doctor Strange movie in that gap between Doomsday and Secret Wars, right with Spider-Man, because they know if they put out a Spider-Man film and Doctor Strange in between 2 Avengers films, they're just going to be printing money. And spoiler alert for the 2015 Marvel Comics Secret Wars run, Doctor Strange is actually the one that dies, and his sacrifice is what allows the rest of the Avengers to actually defeat Doom, but Doom becomes so powerful that he just easily destroys Doctor Strange in this. I know they stay away from the comics in a lot of different reasons, but again, Doctor Strange has been in the MCU for a long time, not quite as long as someone like Thor, but I feel like we are coming to a time where his end might be coming. We gotta clear out some of these original Avengers before we get the X-Men and Fantastic Four and all these other ones taking up space. Like I said, if we get confirmation that Doctor Strange 3 is 100% coming out before this movie, I'd honestly bump his chances of dying up to like 80 or 90%, but it's kind of all dependent on that. Now let me know in the comments below who you think is most likely to die in Avengers Secret Wars. Number 1 for me is actually Ant-Man. I give him a 70% chance of dying. I absolutely love Paul Rudd as his character, and I really would love to see more of him in the MCU, But I just kind of have a gut feeling about this, like no real actual reasoning that he is gonna be the one to make a death in this movie. Because I kind of feel like all the reasons I mentioned for different characters possibly dying in this movie kind of all make sense for Ant-Man. Like he could make a big sacrifice to save the rest of his family, and that would be a devastating scene to see. He's also been in the MCU for a long time, and maybe Paul Rudd is done with the character and he wants to just kind of get out of it. Could be killed off early in the movie to make a really big shocking moment and again set the tone. Like I said, there's so many possibilities that I said for every other character. They kind of all apply to him, so I feel like he's kind of cooked. I made a video going over the characters I think are most likely to die in Spider-Man Beyond the Spider-Verse. I'd really appreciate it if you tapped above and checked that out and leave a like on this and that video. Thank you for watching.